EV battery repair black hole, the used EV market's dirty secret. So now even Cox Automotive is saying the quiet part out loud. The future of older electric cars is under threat, not because of some bloke on Facebook saying batteries only last 2 years, not because your Uncle Dave still thinks every EV explodes if you look at it funny, but because the industry has built a shiny, expensive, battery-powered house of cards and forgot to install an inspection hatch or a repair door. According to reporting from Auto Express, Cox Automotive's European Director of Operations for EV Battery Solutions, Antonia Stephenson, warned that manufacturers have been focusing on range and charging speed at the expense of battery repairability. She said battery design has moved in the direction of less repairable batteries and warns that if EVs can't be repaired, sustaining residual values becomes a serious challenge. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not an anti-EV conspiracy theory. For years we've been sold the dream. Electric cars are the future. Less maintenance, fewer moving parts, cheaper to run, cleaner, simpler, more reliable. And in some ways, yes, an electric motor is mechanically simpler than an internal combustion engine. But there's one tiny little detail that keeps getting brushed under the carpet. The battery, the most expensive component in the car. The bit that can make the difference between a useful second-hand vehicle and a very heavy driveway ornament. And now the industry is having to admit that if the battery is not designed to be repaired properly, economically and safely, then the entire second-hand EV market has a huge problem. Not a minor inconvenience, not a consumer education issue, a proper, full-on, trade value destroying, residual value decimating problem. This is the bit that should make used EV buyers sit up, because Cox is warning about a culture of replace rather than repair, or even write-off rather than replace. And that's terrifying, because in the real world, normal people don't buy second-hand cars expecting every fault to be solved by replacing the most expensive component on the vehicle. Imagine buying a used petrol car and being told, oh yes, the engine has a fault, so we don't repair those, we just replace the entire engine assembly, and that'll be 14 grand please. You'd laugh them out of the garage, but with EVs, this nonsense somehow dressed up as progress. Quick one, this bit isn't sponsored, but it is my personal recommendation. I use the high-low band for blood pressure tracking, and it's honestly been a godsend for me. Super easy to use, and I get a much more realistic picture than a one-off reading at the doctor. If you use my link, you get 20% off plus a 12-month subscription, and I get £25 if your referral is successful. So thanks if you do. The link's in the description. On with the video. Tech Radar's coverage of the same warning made the point clearly. Battery packs are among the costliest components of a modern EV, and replacing or recycling them instead of repairing damaged cells is financially and environmentally backwards. And this is where the green halo starts slipping, because if the battery gets a fault outside warranty and the answer isn't repair but replacement, then what have we actually built? A sustainable transport system or a disposable electrical item with number plates? This is what I keep saying on this channel. The new car market and the used car market are not the same thing. Politicians can force new EV registrations. Manufacturers can pre-register cars. Leasing companies can dump stock. Headlines can scream about record EV demand. But eventually, every one of these cars has to land in the second-hand market. And that's where reality lives. The used buyer asks different questions. How much is it? What's the battery health? What warranty is left on it? If it goes wrong, can it be fixed if I'm paying for it? Who can fix it? How much will it cost? And what will it be worth when I come to sell it? Cox Automotive's own Q3 2025 UK EV Market Insight said the EV market remained uncertain, with progress in registrations happening against a backdrop of market volatility and residual value uncertainty. It also stated that EV residual values had declined at a sharper rate than hybrid, petrol or diesel models, and reported an average used EV price drop of £5,214. Yeah, you wish. So don't tell me this is just my EV negativity. This is the market speaking. I understand the market, and the market's saying we're not paying top money for a car with a battery no one can economically inspect, repair or value properly. This is the killer line from Cox. If you're manufacturing EVs that can't be repaired, it's going to be a real challenge to sustain residual values. That one sentence should be printed out and stapled to every glossy EV press release in Britain, because residual value is not a little side issue. Residual value controls leasing costs. Residual value controls finance risk. Residual value controls dealer confidence. Residual value controls whether a used buyer thinks a car's a bargain or a financial death trap. And when residual values collapse, it's not these EV shills that have been telling you to buy one. It's not the climate intelligence saying, oh, I'm sorry I got it wrong, mate. I tell you what, you know that £1,600 that I said you could save and you can't? Here you go. Is 1,600 quid, mate. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I told you something that wasn't true. Whereas you see, if a dealer tells you something that's not true, you can sue him. EV shills, you can't. They can say what they want with impunity. They can come out with all sorts of shit every single day to keep EVs in the news. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. And they should be financially responsible. They should be made to pay because they're giving out incorrect and misleading misinformation. Who pays? The lease company pays. The fleet operator pays. The dealer pays. The private buyer pays. The poor sod who bought one at retail because someone told him it was future-proof. He pays. Future-proof? It might not even be workshop-proof or weather-proof. The industry has chased range like a dog chasing a tennis ball. More range, faster charging, bigger batteries, thinner packaging, more structural integration, more clever design, more complexity. And now Cox is saying that focus may have come at the expense of repairability. Auto Express reported Stevenson's warning that legislation is more focused on recycling than repair, reducing the incentive for manufacturers to design batteries that are easy to fix. Now, I've said this, not just about EVs, recycling, not repair. What's the point of making backlights with LEDs where when one LED goes, you have to throw the whole backlight away? Where in the old days, you just used to put a bulb in, what, 40p, if that? Good as new. Now, 700 quid for a backlight. It's ridiculous. 700 quid. Imagine when these cars get older, your car is an economic write-off because you've got a bulb out. Now imagine that if the battery had gone. That takes your uneconomic to repair calculation back several years. So your EV becomes uneconomic to repair a lot faster than an ICE car. So we've reached peak absurdity. A car can be advertised as environmentally friendly, but if the battery goes wrong, the industry may be more ready to recycle it than repair it. That's not circular economy. That's just nonsense, because the greenest car is not the one that gets thrown away when a battery module has a problem. The greenest car is the one that stays on the road safely, affordably, and for as long as possible. That used to be common sense. Now apparently it needs a conference speech. Let's talk dealer reality, because this is where the YouTube EV evangelists disappear. A dealer buying a used EV has to think, can I retail this confidently? Can I stand behind it? Can I warranty it? Can I explain the battery condition? Can I get it fixed if there's a problem? And if the answer to any of those questions is not really, then your bid goes down. That's not anti-EV, that's motor trade survival, because when a petrol car comes in with a fault, there's usually a route, diagnostics, spare parts, an independent specialist, used components, repair options, known failure patterns. But with some EV battery issues, the route can quickly become main dealer, high voltage specialist, battery pack uncertainty, parts delay, replace pack, write-off territory, auction disposal, pray. And then people wonder why dealers are nervous. They say, why won't the trade embrace used EVs? Because the trade's not paid to clap for press releases. The trade's paid to manage risks. This is where battery health testing comes in, because if the battery is the most expensive part of the vehicle, then battery condition has to become part of the valuation. Not a nice extra, not a gimmick, not maybe one day. It has to be fundamental. You can't seriously value a used EV properly if you don't know the health of the battery. That's like valuing a house without checking whether the roof's leaking, or valuing a Rolex without opening the case, or buying a used laptop and being told, we don't know the battery cycle count, but don't worry, it's got a shiny screen. No, battery state of health matters, fault codes matter, cell imbalance matters, charging history matters, thermal management matters, warranty status matters, repairability matters, and if valuation platforms, auction guides, finance companies and dealers aren't pricing that in properly, then they're just guessing. Some are guessing confidently, some are guessing arrogantly, but guessing is still guessing. And here is the hypocrisy. The same industry that tells buyers they need to be educated about EVs is only now admitting that the cars themselves may not have been designed with enough thought for second-hand repair. So let me get this straight. The public is supposed to trust the transition. The dealer is supposed to stock the product. The buyer is supposed to pay the money. The finance company is supposed to underwrite the risk. The government is supposed to force the change. But when the car's older, out of warranty, and the battery needs attention, suddenly we discover the product may not be repairable enough. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's not a buyer confidence problem. That's an industry credibility problem. Tech Radar raised a brutal point in its coverage. The idea of cars clocking up 500,000 miles could potentially die with the internal combustion engine if EV repairability is not sorted. That's a massive statement, because one of the great strengths of the motor car has always been repairability. Old cars survive. Look at Cuba. Old cars survive because people can fix them. Engines can be rebuilt, gearboxes can be rebuilt or replaced, parts can be sourced, specialists can learn them, enthusiasts can keep them alive. But if EVs become sealed black boxes where the battery is too complex, too integrated, too expensive, or too restricted to repair economically, then we're not moving into a golden age of sustainable transport. We're moving into a subscription-style, disposable car market. Use it, lease it, dump it, recycle it, repeat. And who pays? The consumer pays. It's always the consumer that pays. This doesn't mean EVs are doomed. That would be too simplistic. There are good EVs. There are EVs with excellent battery health. There are buyers for them. There are specialists doing proper work. There are companies investing in repair and remanufacturing. Cox itself says its EV battery solutions business has more than 10 years of battery service experience and has serviced 900,000 batteries, which shows repair and lifecycle support is not science fiction. It does exist. But the key point is this: if the industry wants a healthy used EV market, repairability must be designed in from the start, not discovered after the warranty ends, not patched together by specialists later, not hidden behind cheerful adverts about charging at home for pennies. Because second-hand buyers are not stupid. They will not pay strong money for a product if the biggest component is a mystery box, and dealers won't stock vehicles they can't stand behind. So the next time someone tells you the used EV market is about to explode, ask them this: is it the battery that's going to explode? Can the battery be repaired? Who repairs it? How much does it cost? Can you test it before sale? Can the buyer see the battery health? What happens outside warranty? And is the car priced according to the condition of its most expensive component? Because until those questions are answered properly, all the propaganda EV headlines in the world are just glossing over the depreciation fire. Cox Automotive has not attacked EVs, it's exposed the problem hiding underneath the bonnet, or more accurately, underneath the floor. The future of the EV market will not be decided by range figures, influencer reviews, government targets or smug press releases. It will be decided in the second-hand market, by buyers, by dealers, by repair bills, by battery health, by residual values, and by one simple question: when it goes wrong, can the bloody thing be repaired? Because if the answer's no, then the future of the used EV market is not electric, it's expensive. Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you buy a used EV without a proper battery health certificate? Would you stock one as a dealer without knowing the battery condition? And should manufacturers be forced to make EV batteries repairable before these cars are pushed into the used market? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.